What's going on, everyone? So, working out of my mobile office today. Gonna do a quick show review because, frankly, I'm running out of time here in the state. Got a lot of packing to do, and we'll be moving in just a few days. So, yeah. So last night, the Decibel magazine tour, Mayhem 40 years, Mortiis, Imperial, Triumphant, and new Skeletal Faces. So let's get into it. New Skeletal Faces, kind of a goth rock, death rock trio. Really good set. For me, I think it was the set of the night. I'd seen them before recently in a small place, and it was like, all right, these guys have some potential, but I need to see them in a different spot. And this was up in Vancouver at the Rickshaw Theater, one of my favorite venues. The guys did not have a lot of room, but man, they put out some serious energy. And the crowd was really like blown away. So really, really great to see them. And all the full set, the links are down below. Really great to see them. Yeah, I need to see these guys in like that venue with just more room. But definitely some good punk attitude, some good gothiness, some good just like heavy, dirty rock. They probably have a good appeal for like people in metal, 80s rock. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. So they did great. Definitely a band to keep an eye out for. So we'll see kind of how their trajectory goes. Imperial, Triumphant was up next. And, you know, they're a really fun band. Really cool playing, really interesting and innovative. But again, they didn't have any more room either. Because because of Hellhammer's crazy drum set, all the other bands, their drum sets were like up front and center. And then the guitarist was here and the bassist was here. And it was really split. So, I don't like that. It's really like, I don't know, it really takes away. And granted, you know, big drum sets require a lot of work, but hopefully somebody can come up with a solution in the future. Anyway, no champagne, which was disappointing, but really good set, really fun. The vocals, you couldn't hear anything, just way too low. But the musicians played really well. They played for about half an hour. Really, right, proggy, avant-garde, heavy, a little bit of everything. And if you're a fan, you obviously know. And they're kind of supporting their new album, Gold Star, I think it's called. But yeah, so Imperial, Triumphant, another band where like they're just a lot of fun to see in concert. Again, they can't share the stage like this. It doesn't help them, and they can't even like express themselves really. And you can kind of see the frustration, especially from the bassist who does a ton of moving. And then Mortiis was up next, so I didn't know what to think about Mortiis. You know, Mortiis I was familiar with back in the day. Never really got into them. These kind of neo-folky landscapes with a little bit of metal, and just wasn't my thing. And like, you have these two bands that came on in the beginning of the night, a lot of energy in this tight space, and then you have Mortiis, and I don't know his drummer's name, but Mortiis was on like a little, it almost looked like a DJ set from like a Warhammer 40K, and his drummer had a few drums set up, and it was like this weird like medieval drum and bass set with DJ Mortiis. I don't know. It was just these two guys, and they just did their thing, and you couldn't even see their like background screen super well. And it just like the life of the venue just like gone. The energy died down. I mean, the crowd wasn't super active, which was weird for the first two bands, but man, they just like came to a standstill. And you know, I think it's cool that anybody can follow their dream and do what they want. Obviously, Mortiis has made a name and a following for himself, but that was just not the place for him. Yeah, it was. I mean, frankly, it was boring. The music, there wasn't a lot going on. And so, I don't know who constructed that addition to this tour, but it was not a good choice. So, they left, and everybody kind of like, all right, let's regroup. And because Mayhem's doing a 2-hour set, 2 hours to cover 40 years, it's something like 20 songs. The link is down below. It's currently blocked because YouTube, in its infinite wisdom, thinks it's their 2024 set from Wacken. I don't know, whatever. But hopefully you get to see it. My complaints about them before Stand, there wasn't a ton of movement, not a lot of personality. And everybody's like, well, it's fucking Mayhem, like, what do you want? But the thing is, there wasn't a lot of anger or aggression either. There just wasn't a lot going on. I mean, the guys all played great. And, they had the video screen with footage from their history and photos from their history. And they played kind of like a best of. I don't know Mayhem super well to say if it was a best of, but they were clearly tracks that the audience wanted to hear. I was familiar with about half of them, which, I'm not huge into black metal. But, it was just like, man, I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, you want to see this band celebrate 40 years, but at the same time, like, watching them, it's like the performance wasn't there. So, and I guess this is something that's come up time and time again, is I'm looking for a lot of performance, and some of the people maybe just want to see the bands play, and that's fine. But for me, I don't know. I think there were some sound issues, so I think between these things, and man, the Mortiis set, like I said, so I think had they maybe had a different band, or maybe just kept the two bands, or something, and I don't know, had more of a, I don't know, it just was, it felt like if I were grading it, C+, B-. The guys did great. There wasn't a lot there. There wasn't a lot of substance. So I think if I were a diehard Mayhem fan and that's what came out, I'd probably been happy to see him, but I probably would still wanted more. I know if it were a band I'm diehard about, I need to see more, because I can watch footage, or I can listen to the album. But you're not going to satisfy everybody. Even a band like Mayhem, like, they're going to go out and do their thing, and they don't give a fuck, and that's fine. I just think, like, if people are on the fence about the show, which a lot of them are selling out, but if you're on the fence about it, or if it's costing you extra money beyond just the normal price of a ticket, like, that's stuff that's going to turn people away, I think, based on my experiences and, like, the people I've talked to. And even last night, like, some people, they left the show clearly disappointed. So anyway, it was good to see the Vancouver family, all the Vancouver metalheads. It's a great scene. I really like the rickshaw. And my last time up to Canada for a while, I guess. But so tonight is my last Pacific Northwest show. I'm going to see Birthday Massacre with Essinger and Magic Wands. So light, airy, gothy stuff. But that's going to be it. After the move, reviews and interviews are going to start really, really coming in. And then, of course, more shows. So lots of stuff coming up. Subscribe to the channel. Hit notify so you know what's coming out. Especially with not being on social media as much. It's hard to spread that stuff around. But interact and share, because we're trying to build a good community here. And, feedback is important. And so, yeah. Anyway, sorry, a little bit rambly there. I'm a little bit tired because last night was tough and it was a long drive home and I got up early. So, yeah. Go to the show if you like the bands. If there's something you need, though, like, be aware that you may not get it, or, man, that Mortiis set, I think that was definitely nothing against Mortiis, don't know the guy, but that was just not the time or place for that. set. So, that being said, I'm going to get going. And, yeah. Hope to see you around sometime. Hope to talk to you online. Hope to, I don't know, maybe see you play. I don't know. Also, for those interested, and I'm going to ramble a little bit more, we have a new reviewer doing kind of like non-metal, non-music reviews, so books and plays, some other arts and culture stuff. So that's, you'll be able to find it on the website and the WordPress, and all that stuff is kind of paused at the moment. It's under construction, but we'll pick it back up once, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks once I get settled. So that's, her name's Lavina Ostergaard. She has a good perspective on some things, so check it out. And yeah, all right, I'm going to let you go because you probably stopped listening anyway. So, okay, goodbye.